Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and here to bring to you a Raw recap, so let's get right into it. Raw kicks off with a Becky Lynch promo. Then we go right into a women's WWE Tag Team Championship match with the Kabuki Warriors versus Becky and Charlotte. The Kabuki Warriors win. Shayna Baszler, Bayley, Becky, they all get involved in some way, somehow. Shayna gets on the apron, distracts Becky, and the Kabuki Warriors win with a roll up. Then we have after that, Bayley yanks Shayna down. Shayna lays Bayley out with a clothesline. We go to two backstage segments back to back. We see Randy Orton, Ricochet, and Humberto and the OC in a backstage segment, and that leads to a 6-man tag team match, and that will be our main event of the evening. The second was a backstage promo by who I wrote down in my notes Aleister Black, I guess, but Aleister Black comes later on. So, who was it? It was Eric Rowan. And in my defense, it was very hard. The camera angle was very hard to see because Eric was talking to an animal, and I couldn't. The camera angle was weird and wonky. So we had Seth Rollins coming out to share his thoughts on the NXT invasion. And he issues an open challenge, which causes Imperium to come out. And Seth Rollins versus Walter in a singles match. Imperium gets involved. A DQ finish. Then Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins. The Street Profits, along with Kevin Owens, come out to make the save. So we have a tag team match. Playa. And shoot. Rollins, Owens, and Profits win. So we now have a 2-on-1 handicap match for the 24/7 championship. The Bollywood Boys, aka the Singh brothers, versus R-Truth. It doesn't stay in the ring for very long, and Samir and Sunil, they run into the women's locker room, and R-Truth goes, "I'm not going in there." And so he pounds on the door and goes, "Let them out!" And the Bollywood boys go, they run out of the women's locker room, and then they run into another room where it just so happens that Eric Rowan lays them out with a couch, and then R-Truth comes in and says, "Y'all need some privacy. Let me get these lights for you." So the match ended in a no contest. Even though Rowan could have pinned the 24/7 championship, not the 24/7 championship, but the 24/7 champion, and become the new 24/7 championship. Eric Rowan got a lot of screen time on tonight's Raw. First, with that backstage promo I mentioned. Second, with him just laying out the Bollywood boys. And third, Eric Rowan brings out a cage wrapped in burlap. Well, yeah, burlap. So you can't see what the animal is. The commentators want nothing to do with it. And his opponent's name is Shanir, whatever his name is. Well, his name's not important. All that is important is that Eric Rowan dominated him and got the 1, 2, 3. Then he goes waltzing over to the announce table, checking, and asks the commentators, who are Jerry Lawler and Vic Joseph. No Dio Madden, he is still suffering the effects of the F5. And Eric looks at both of them, asks them if they had touched the animal. They say no. He gets it and walks off. Now we go to the Riddler, Aleister Black. Aleister Black cuts a promo that's in a riddle. We'll see where that goes. We saw Sin Cara had asked for his release. I don't know if the WWE has granted it or not, but he had a match with Drew McIntyre, and as you all know, Drew McIntyre won with the Claymore. We saw the Viking Raiders taking on former NXT tag team champions in the NXT tag team got demolished by the Viking Raiders. We had a I want to say we had another singles contest. Oh, we had Andrade taking on Cedric Alexander, and with help from Zelina Vega, Andrade won with the Hammerlock DDT. Can Andrade win without Zelina Vega in his corner is the question. So now we go to the main event of the evening. But before we get to that, there's another backstage segment between Ricochet and Randy Orton. Ricochet is suspicious about Randy Orton's loyalty, and Randy says, look, the last thing you need to do is let me inside your head. So we go to the match between Humberto, Randy, and Ricochet versus the OC. And the OC lose with a... Well, Ricochet... Well, Randy teases the RKO to Ricochet, but he turns Ricochet around, and Randy hits the RKO onto AJ Styles. Tags Humberto in, and Humberto hits a beautiful moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Then, Oh! I almost forgot one segment. That's silly of me. I'll get to it next. So, Randy looks at Ricochet, Ricochet looks at Randy, and Randy motions him like this and says that I do what I want, when I want, at any time. Remember that, pointing at his head. So, I forgot this segment. Lana comes out and she announces that it's been 7 weeks. It was 7 weeks ago when her and Bobby Lashley had their first intimate contact. For those of you that don't know what that means, it means that Lana said that 7 weeks ago is when they first had sexual intercourse. I don't believe that for 1 second. And I will admit, I did not really pay any attention. I paid little to no attention to this because I really don't care about this. But Lana says that she is pregnant and that her soon-to-be ex-husband put a monster inside of her, and Rusev comes out. He says he's trying to understand all of this. Lana points accusations at Rusev, calling her saying that Rusev is calling her a liar and a manipulator. And then Bobby Lashley shows up, and Bobby Lashley destroys Rusev. And then Lana and Bobby go up to the stage, and then she goes, I can't believe he thought I was pregnant. Oh boy. I still don't care about this segment. I still don't care about this storyline. But my only question is, why kill this? Like, why kill the pregnancy in the same segment that you had Lana announce that she was pregnant? Then she goes, I can't believe that he thought I was pregnant. So what the heck's going on here? But I'm Hardcore Christopher. That's my Raw recap. And keep it hardcore, everyone.